Can someone check the couch cushions at the Scorsese house? Because I'm pretty sure Martin Scorsese has lost his mind. The Wolf of Wall Street is a satirical, zany, and kinetic look into the drug-addled, sex-craved, and money-hungry world of the 80s stock market, as seen through the eyes of Jordan Belfort, a stockbroker who will do anything to stay on top. Leonardo DiCaprio takes the role, and right off the bat, let me say, Leo is on fire. He's absolutely incredible in this. Scorsese asks a lot of his actors, especially in an over-the-top spectacle like this, but DiCaprio seems to be able to live in this character in a wholly committed way, chewing up the scenery and at the same time allowing the subtleties of the slime to leak from his demeanor. The performances around him are pretty amazing too, with Matthew McConaughey being of special note with his brilliant scene-stealing performance as Jordan's mentor early in the film. I also like that the movie's overall message seemed to be that money can be as much of a substance abuse problem as alcohol, sex, or drugs, and the consequences can be just as dire. And yet, Scorsese paints this message in a way that seems to revel in every act of debauchery, and even celebrate the energy and seeming vitality of that way of life. And yes, I get that that's part of the satire, but after 3 hours of adrenaline shots to the baser parts of human nature, that message can get a little confused, not to mention exhausting. And based on the way the movie ends, it might actually be more about how life is really all about being a good salesman and that morality is secondary to moxie and charm. Seriously, this movie is so insane from beginning to end that it almost acts itself as a drug, muddying your mind enough that you're not quite sure if what you saw was real or fantasy. What I am sure of is Scorsese is playing without boundaries at this point. He has created a movie here that is gleefully depraved, and it's hard to swallow sometimes. About halfway through the screening I was in, an entire row of people walked out, and I wasn't even surprised. I mean, it's Scorsese, so in some ways you know he likes to play on the edges, but he really seems to be attempting here to push just about every button you could think of. Seriously, we may need to stage an intervention for the guy. But the worst thing for me, it's just that all that gleeful depravity has stolen any kind of real substance that the movie might have had, turning a valid warning about greed into a hollow exercise in pure adulterated entertainment. In the end, The Wolf of Wall Street is a visceral, well-acted satire that is intrinsically compelling in its exploration of greed and excess. It's only that in celebrating that excess, it falls prey to its own hollowness and can go no higher than a C+. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. You can stay tuned for this review's best ever challenge here in a bit. But first, I'm going to put some stuff up over here you can click on. If you'd like to subscribe, which I'd very much appreciate, you can do that by clicking the big gray subscribe button here. If you want to see more reviews, there's a few this week. You can click over here to see reviews of The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, 47 Ronin, Grudge Match, or the new Justin Bieber documentary. You can also click the logo right up here to go to yourmoviefriend.com, where you can search by title for new reviews. And finally, this review's best ever challenge. This is where you name the best movie ever in a particular category and also try to identify my choice. This time, name the best stockbroker movie ever. I actually have a couple of these I really like, but mine is the one that stars one of the main guys from the Fast and Furious films. Drop your own answer to Guess It Mine in the comments, and the first person to guess mine gets a point. Thanks, and don't forget to subscribe.